everyone. How are you all doing today? Another beautiful day. We thank God. For those of you who are new to the channel, who I've not met before, my name is Ify. I'm based here in United Kingdom. And my channel covers family, marriage, relationship, lifestyle, health, and faith. Last week we talked about kidney problems or renal problems. This week I promise we're going to look into diabetes because it's a major problem, and it's something that we cannot talk enough of. So today let's just go into, I'm not going to go into too much medical terms. We're going to just go straight to the basics of diabetes. Diabetes is when the body either does not make enough insulin or can't use it as well as it should. That's basically what, when you say, oh, somebody developed diabetes, it is you can say it's an impairment in the way the body regulates and uses glucose or sugar as a fuel. So that's basically when diabetes is diagnosed. There are two types of diabetes. There's type 1 and there's type 2. And also there's gestational diabetes. I'm going to talk about that very, very briefly. But type 1 is a genetic condition, often shows early in life. And type 2 is mainly lifestyle related and develops over time. Gestational diabetes, mainly when people are, some women, when they're pregnant, they will develop diabetes, and it's called gestational diabetes. Most of the times, once they deliver the baby, the diabetes, their blood sugar regulates. However, they have to know that they need to be checking their lifestyle, what they eat and everything, because over the years, they can actually develop diabetes if they continue to do what they have always done, like not watching their diet and stuff like that. So we have to bear that in mind. I remember in those days when we were in at the uni, that they talked about 3 P's when we need to talk about diabetes diagnosis or the signs and symptoms of possible diabetes. There are 3 P's: polydipsia, polyuria, and polyphagia. Polydipsia, obviously excessive thirst, you want to drink all the time. Polyuria, you want to pee all the time. And polyphagia, you want to eat all the time. When people have these 3 P's, people might start thinking, so this person might be diabetic. But there are other signs as well, such as tingling sensations, that's a peripheral neuropathy. There might be a dry mouth, frequent infections, and so on and so forth. But those 3 P's are the main ones. Right. Before diagnosis of diabetes is made, there's it can be in a pre-diabetic state. And the way to know that somebody is a pre-diabetic is when their blood sugar level is between 100 to 125 milligram per deciliter, as they mention it. That's how they measure it in, I think, back in Nigeria and also in the US and other parts of the world. But here in UK, we measure in millimoles. So between 100 to 125 is pre-diabetic, and that's between 5.7 to 6.4. Here in UK, that's pre-diabetic. And once it gets over 126 milligram per deciliter or over 6.5 millimole here in UK, the person is classed as diabetic. However, there are other investigations to be done to be confirmed properly. And that is through a blood test. They can do what they call GTT, where they give you percentage of a glucose fluid to drink, and after a few hours they will check your blood sugar. And then they will also do a blood test called HbA1c. So once these two are done, or one of them is done, and they will confirm that the person has diabetes, what do they do next? Obviously, they put you on medication, and the first line medication is normally metformin. people are put on metformin, and most of the other time they may not even give you any other advice apart from the medication. However, it's always good when people are diagnosed with diabetes to also be directed to a dietitian so that they can walk through what they will be eating, because you have to cut down or cut off carbohydrates once you are diabetic. Most people are not well informed. They think that once they are taking their medication, they can continue eating as normal. No, 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 no. It doesn't work at all, because yes, the medication may lower your blood sugar. However, all the other nasty things that diabetes can cause will still be going on inside your system. So, yes, you can of course take your medication, but as I said it before in my health video, that diabetes is not something you manage with just medication. Lifestyle change is required. Sometimes people who are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which is what we are concentrating on today, it's not always the case that they are overweight. Some people, everyone with that type 2 diabetes is not overweight, but obesity and inactivity are two main culprits of diabetes. So once you're diagnosed, we have to make sure that you cut down on your weight. How do you do that? By obviously monitoring what you eat, cutting down or really down on carbohydrate, and increasing your exercise levels. And then when you talk about, oh, people will say, well, I don't take sugar, well, I don't like sugar anyway, but most of the things we eat, most of the carbohydrates we eat, there's lots of hidden sugar in them. So you need to cut down on your carbohydrate intake. And what else? Most common causes of diabetes, or sorry, most people with diabetes do not either make insulin, or their pancreas isn't releasing enough, or their body can't recognize the insulin and is not using it properly. So that's what is called insulin resistance. But once you change your diet, your lifestyle, if you are used to alcohol, you have to cut down on your alcohol intake and reduce these things, and then you'll be amazed how your blood sugar can start regularizing, with or without. Some people are diet controlled diabetics. Yes, it can be controlled just with your diet, depending on your level. And if you're really, really consistent, you have to be determined to control it with diet and really be intentional about it. It's not just yes, once in a while you can have a treat, but you have to always be watching what you eat. Unfortunately, once you are diagnosed with diabetes, medication only will not take care of your diabetes. If you don't take anything else away from today, take the fact that yes, you are diagnosed with diabetes, you are given medication. One medication may be metformin, that's what we call monotherapy. Then you're doing what you're doing and eating as you like and taking the metformin. Then it's not working, they'll put the next one, and that's a dual therapy. They'll put another one medication, that's number 2. And then the next one, they might put the third one. You're taking 3 medications, and you can even go on to take insulin as well, because all those medications are not working, because you are taking the medication but you are not watching what you eat. How can somebody who is type 2 diabetes be on insulin as well? If they really take responsibility of managing their diabetes very well, there's no reason why only one medication and then lifestyle change and eating properly will not be able to manage your diabetes and you live a decent life. But when you start taking the second medication, third one, and then go on insulin, that means that the whole thing is all messed up, and you start having all these other signs of diabetes, that effects of diabetes, blood vision, so many peripheral problems that I've listed before. You start having so many. Diabetes can attack so many organs in your body if it's not managed properly. So it's a very, very bad condition to have. No condition is good to have. Diabetes can affect affect all sorts. I'm going to stop this one here. Tomorrow, I'm going to look into there's new guidelines, there's new changes in diabetes management here in UK. I'm going to bring up those, and then I'll talk about some of the food that we should be aiming for. When someone is diabetic, the type of food to be aiming for. I'm going to come from that angle in 2 days time when I do. So this video is in 2 parts. This is part 1, and then the next 2 days when I upload the next video, it will be part 2, talking about the new things introduced, and also the diets and type of things you should be eating to help manage the diabetes. Now I'm going to stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening. It's a very short video. Please share with others so that they can benefit as well. And tomorrow, 2 days time, we'll continue and complete. I mean, diabetes is something that we have to be talking about all the time, but for now, we are stopping this one today, and then in 2 days time, we'll talk more about new guidelines, new things introduced, and the type of food and drinks that we should be taking. Thank you so much once again for listening, and please share this video out, and I'll see you again in a couple of days. Goodbye.